right, hello, True Heel Heat. I'm the AEW World Champion MJF. Just in case you're deaf, dumb, blind, stupid, or since you listen to this podcast, or you're listening to True Heel Heat, and I apologize for that.
What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching True Heel Heat podcast.
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
Rob Van Dam, listen to True Heel Heat. Pow.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for AEWramble episode 205, Deaf All in Texas, discussing last night's July 2nd, 2025 edition of Dynamite 300, the 300th episode of AEW Dynamite. We've made it this far in not so long, and we are here to discuss it all with you. And to do that, I am joined by my esteemed colleague, the man of, well, he was here. The man of 58,000 subscribers. You'll go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms of Tony Khan and All Elite Wrestling, his Yankee fitteds, and somehow he's getting popped off a lot. If you watched our Okada and Omega watch party rewatch for the fourth matchup, this was happening a lot. So I hope it's not going to be as often as that was. that was a little bit too much. But that was Jimmy Macram. He'll be back in a minute here. Don't you worry. I think he's approaching right now. And look at that. He's back. Jimmy Macram's here. How are you doing?
Here we go again. It worked out last week, so see how it goes. I'm good. We'll see. Well, we'll see how it goes. To be fair, we'll see how it goes.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
How are you?
You said from us are doing individual live tweeting to each other when you were watching the show. It didn't seem as negative as usually with you watching last night's episode.
Not at all. I thought this. Well, I won't spoil this, but I thought this was a very good episode of Dynamite.
There you go. As soon as he said that, WWE was like, "Get your ass out of here! Don't you? You're supposed to be on our side. Just you're supposed to see the GPS, Jimmy, and understand that we're just going and we go with the twists and the turns, and we just follow the GPS until we find the right destination. And we want AEWramble for you to be negative about their product because this is what we do." This is what we do. My name's The Game, Triple H, and I knocked out Jimmy Macram because he was talking way too positive about that All Elite Wrestling. Yeah, man, I had to knock you out of here.
Yeah, man. Listen, Macho Man? Macho Man Hunter Helmsley?
No, you got to do it. This is what we do. This is what we do.
I'm so annoyed with this. I'm going to keep it together, though. Positive vibes.
Positive vibes. Don't let that get in your way. But yes, we're here to talk about AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite 300 for AEW. Last night, a milestone episode. We appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Either way, show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping a thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, you can sound off in the comment section if you're watching us on demand. Appreciate you for that. And if you're watching us live, if you're here with us live, you can sound off in the live chat, and we love to interact with all of you guys. Hear your thoughts on last night's AEW Dynamite 300. What did you like? What you didn't like? We want to hear from all of you, and we'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel and what we do every Thursday here with AEWramble, you can do so with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here, and we always appreciate the support. We set a goal for today's live stream, and if we're able to hit it, we will be doing another Q&A where me and Jimmy will be answering any questions that you got going into AEW All in Texas. We got a big AEW All in Texas week coming up here on the YouTube channel where we're going to be doing previews for all the big shows. We're going to do one big one for all the WWE shows next weekend. Next Friday, we'll be doing our AEW All in Texas preview. You know, Maggie's going to be here. Called up Joe Holbert. He'll probably be here as well. Jane News is already going to be with us. That one is starting at 12:05 p.m. Eastern Time next Friday, so join us for that. We got our True Heel Heat flagship podcast next Saturday with Top Guy JJ joining me, Josh, and Chrissy. And then we also got our AEW All in Texas review the following Sunday. And then on Monday, we got a review of Saturday night's main event and Evolution. It's going to be a busy week. I like the Tony Soprano shirt, sir. I didn't even see that before.
Oh, that's absolutely one of the greatest shows ever. One of the greatest characters ever.
Where does he rank in your greatest characters ever?
He's definitely top 10. Maybe even top. I think I had him 6 or 7. He's up there. He's high up there.
Who's number one?
Who was it? Oh, Frank Underwood from House of Cards. I don't care how many boys Kevin Spacey touches. That character is fucking fantastic. It just is what it is. No disrespect, young men. Sorry you had to go through that, I guess. But That fucking character is fantastic. I can watch the first 2 seasons of House of Cards right fucking now if I had to.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I understand. We do have already in the chat. We got Zach who says, "Happy July 4th, everyone. Happy July 4th to all of you. And if you celebrate Independence Day, happy 4th of July to you. If you celebrate FKD Day, happy 4th of July to you as well."
It's FKD.
Well, July 4th was the day that KD signed with the Golden State Warriors. So I know Oklahoma City Thunder fans, that's what they celebrate July 4th for.
Gotcha.
But you can get over it now. You got a championship. We got Chuck Berry's in the chat. He says, "What's good, THH fam? When it comes to death matches and death wishes, I believe in the Hangman, but I don't believe in jet speed." We'll get into that. One of the worst tag team title builds I think I've ever seen. Sofa Kid in the chat. He says, "What's up, guys? Good to see you, Sofa Kit." We also got Power Driver Finisher, the good brother, who says, "What's up, everyone? Is RVD a new addition to the intro, or was he always there?" He's always there. He's always there. I only spotlight him on occasion, not every time, but he is there. He's been here for a while. We got Annika who says, "Hey, homies, good to see you." Annika in the chat. Jimmy's back, and I think he's on the laptop cam now. I think we might be good now.
We'll see how it fucking goes.
The laptop camera is usually because you have the other camera on. That was what happened when we did this on for review to watch the 4th Okada Omega matchup.
What does that have to do with fucking anything? What the fuck? I have plenty of space on my computer. I have plenty of capacity. I don't have anything else open. I restarted it. What the fuck is the issue? Why is it just StreamYard? What the fuck? It's a message from God. I don't watch this fucking show anymore.
Wow, you just blame the show, why don't you?
I've been converted. I understand. I hear what you want. I'm a vessel.
Oh, now this. You're the vessel. Yeah, what did you think about your vessel to chant "Best in the World"? What did you think about his Thugonomics rap last Friday?
What insanity this is. Every fucking thing on the planet has happened since Friday, and yet we've got to talk about this. What the fuck is going on?
I always ask you about CM Punk. Whenever CM Punk
pay-per-view. No, whenever there's something you want.
Okay. Better question. What did you think about his apology?
I love that. You see, whenever something awful happens, I got to be put on the cross so I can come before the world and do that fucking walk of shame. I don't want to, but you know what? I will fucking do it. I didn't see the apology, but I heard he apologized to the Saudi Arabia. First of all, I only saw the clip of that cocksucker asking to apologize. I talked to you about it before I saw it. And first of all, I don't care where I was. You got to chop my fucking head off before I apologize to this uppity cocksucker. Who the fuck are you to get in my face about fucking anything? Sir, please don't get fucked up in your own country. Don't do it. That's number one. Number two, it hurts. It hurts to watch. I get it. If I thought it was genuine, I would buy into it. But I don't think it should. There is something about apologizing to people for what you said about the government. Like, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about the people.
CM Punk fans got him again. They got him again. Power Finisher says they're punishing Jimmy for not going to Saudi. Seems so. It seems so. We got Davion who says, "What's up to y'all? Glad to join another episode of AEWramble. Also, what in the world was that jet speed segment?" We'll discuss it. We'll talk about it. I'll vent. Why they doing my boys like that? Alexander, good to see you in the chat. Alexander Fitzgerald. We also got Roxy, who says, good morning, everyone. We also got LeVay, who says they tried a new handshake and then got beat up for wearing ace bandages. Damn. We got I Make Beats. It says, evening, folks. Good to see you. I Make Beats in the chat. We also got Ace, who says, what's up, my brothers in chat. Then we got I Make Beats, who says, I was up so early this morning. I caught the end of Dynamite live. Wild. He's back.
So much. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. I was like, why do you sound like that? We also got Ace, who says Dynamite was a great show last night. We got Annika, who says they should have done it in America because Saudi didn't catch any of those references. No, it's more of the references weren't good, Annika. Weren't good. I think they would have caught some of them if they were good.
I got a few more days.
I mean,
fucking hypocritical nonsense. Before I go on.
How am I being a hypocrite?
I let you guys ride after he fucking bowed down and went to Saudi Arabia. I went, you know what? We're all on the same page. Fair enough. That's outrageous. Not here with the apology. All right, we're doing a little bit much here. We're getting a little big for our britches here. Whole bunch of niggas that watch these fucking shows. Whole bunch of niggas who get paid to watch these fucking shows. Do a lot of fucking talking about. I'm gonna keep it together. I'm gonna let y'all guys get it off a little longer. A couple more days. Then we're gonna move on.
I didn't get paid to cover the show.
Really? Didn't you watch along or fucking review it?
I reviewed it. I didn't get paid for it.
Really? You turned off your AdSense for that? Look at you. What a good guy you are. I'm proud of you.
No. We didn't accept any super chats. I said if we did get super chats, I was gonna send it to charity, but I couldn't figure out what charity we wanted to send it to. So, and it would take too long. It would be a month from now that we would even get that money. So I was just like, let me just turn it off.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We got. I mean, yeah, it's gonna take too
the heads
long.
cut off before they get the money anyway. What do you want from me? I'm only one man. What can I do?
What did you think about the match with John Cena?
That's fine.
You liked it?
No, that's strong. That's fine. It's not like it's crazy. It's fine. It was fine.
I love that. I like asked the most mild question ever. I said, "Did you like it?" You're like, "No, that's not too far."
No. It was fine. I didn't hate it. How's that? It was painless.
That's good. Big Man Dice says, I called Noseman to shut him down again. He said, Triple H just replied, what we do. He said, Big Man Dice says, what is more immoral? Punk being a hypocrite and going to Saudi, the atrocious bars, or Punk contributing to AEW's Google trend meter being 30% lower than in 2023.
That's interesting. Wow. I'll be nice. I'm not gonna be rude. I'm a good guy. More immoral? Well, being a hypocrite's not immoral. Making you watch bad TV, that's immoral. So the bars, number one. And then it's not his fault.
I love that. I do appreciate that you're a Punk fan, but you're honest, because I had to deal with a whole bunch of people in my comments. He was mocking John Cena, and John Cena was bad at it, so he has to be bad at it. He's being bad on purpose. How do you not understand? Are you too dumb to understand that? It's like...
Bars, AEW, and Saudi. That's probably my list. Big man dogs. But to be fair, you couldn't do anything about AEW. They chose Jack Perry over CM Punk. I'm not entirely sure which one to do. It is what it is. They deserve every bad thing that ever happens to them.
Alexander Fitzgerald says Hangman Mox in a death match sounds insane. Feels like yesterday Mox took that spike spot. That's Mox coming for you. He says, I can only imagine the crazy spots they will do. We also got I Make Beats, who says, I didn't get paid to watch Night of Champions, but I didn't pay to watch it.
Well, that's good, I suppose. I'm ready to go.
Why are you ready to go off? I think we're having a very civil conversation.
They make me sick. You can't name one fucking thing in Saudi Arabia. They don't know who the fucking king of Saudi Arabia is. They don't know nothing about the structure. If you ask them about it, they say gay people. That's it. Gay people. Something about maybe reporters or something like that. Gay reporters. In fact, if you look up, you look at facts. Right. And where they type all this? On Elon Musk's Twitter, by the way. Thatcher, appreciate you.
What did you think about Night of Champions?
It's better than Nazi Twitter. Nothing. I didn't watch the show. Also, it's Funk Cena.
Okay, fair. I thought you would have watched Cody and Orton.
It's hard for me to get up for Jack. Jack Perry. It's certainly hard for me to get up for Jack Perry. It's hard for me to get up for Cody Rhodes. I'm sorry, I just can't. I don't believe you. I don't believe much of what Cody does. He's a heel.
I can't wait for the double turn.
You think that's coming?
It feels like there's nothing Cena can do to get booed.
No, that's fucking true. Yes, if they are planning on doing a turn with Cody and Cena, that might work. Cena got fucking cheered the first time. He's John Cena.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you want.
Like it took y'all nearly a decade to get people to cheer for him. How did you think that you were then gonna make them now boo him again?
It's such an odd choice. Fitz, you know what? You're one of those people fucking annoy me. But you know what? I'm gonna keep it together. Listen, I know you're probably 12 years old, so yes, you can change your opinion from fucking 41 to 46. And if he's had a change of heart, I would buy into it. I would have his back. I'm all for it. His opinions I had a year ago, I don't have now. However, it's a little coincidental that your opinion changed when you started getting paid. That's not how that works to me. It's possible. I just don't buy it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's that, and also I think that the wording, if this was a prepared apology as well, I think the wording could have been better. I understand I woke up in a bad mood, but to say it had nothing to do with Saudi Arabia, for everyone that read the tweet, yeah, it's like it had everything to do with should you have brought Saudi Arabia into it when the Miz didn't say anything about Saudi Arabia? No, that is what you should have apologized for.
Right. You know, it's good on you. That's simple. You know what? I wasn't even mad at Saudi Arabia. Just off the top of my fucking head, I was mad at the Miz. I said what I said. That's it. Why are we even doing any of this? I don't know. Because it feels like I'm not talking about going to Saudi Arabia. You do what you got to do. You're part of the machine. You do what you got to do. I understand. I'm talking about acknowledging any of this. Why would you want this acknowledged in any form or fashion? So why would John Cena say CM Punk is a hypocrite for going to Saudi Arabia? Because then my next question would be, why does CM Punk not want to go to Saudi Arabia? And you don't want to answer that question on air. What the fuck are we talking about? I don't understand.
Yeah, why is this a part of a wrestling storyline to begin with? Why was and like and also I think a lot of people that were answering me with my opinion on the Punkonomics segment, they didn't understand that I was saying the segment was bad. They was like, well, you know, he's not a rapper. What is he supposed to be, Eminem? I was like, the rap was bad, but the segment overall, when you even put any thought into it, he got low blowed, hit with a title, put through a table, then Cena cut the pipe bomb. If Cena just cuts the pipe bomb, yes, this is the proper response. But you got your ass handed to you, fell asleep on a table for 10 minutes for him to cut the pipe bomb, and your response was, I'm going to do a bad rap. because I'm gonna act like you. And that's how you're supposed to pick butts in the seat in a go home segment for a heated blow off.
That's a really good point, actually. That's a really good point. This whole thing got way too meta. Ironically, the night after, or the 2 nights after Night of Champions, was the appropriate response to getting your ass kicked and screwed. Yes, I'm very upset. I am highly upset. I'm looking for everybody. Duh. Yeah. That's how that would work. You got screwed out of the title. You'd be upset. Yes. That's how it should work if you get put to a table. I don't understand.
That's why I much preferred Poco on Raw this week. Raw was the proper response. He came out, he went right after the person who tried to screw him. Anyone else who got in his way, he either told them off or pushed them on their ass. Do I want Gunther to be pushed on his ass and just take it? No. But Punk's response to what happened to him was the proper response.
What is wrong with you people? What do you want Gunther to do?
Get up and whoop his ass. I don't want him to be Gunther from the first ring. That reminded me too much of Gunther from the first ring.
All right, fair enough. We'll give you guys PTSD. But no, that's a good response. I've been pushed on my ass by a 2-year-old. If you're off balance and unexpected, yeah, it could happen.
Are you the ring general?
To be fair, I was only like 5, but yeah,
I love that. You said it like it happened recently. You were like,
yeah, my godfather explained, yeah, because you're off balance. She usually wouldn't be able to do it to you. Oh, that makes sense.
Yes. I was like, he should have done like 4 bars and then just hit him with the chain. Hit him with the chain, something. Like what? He just rapped and dropped the mic. I was like,
on the anniversary of the pipe bomb, insanity. Whose idea is this? This is a humiliation.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't care what anybody says. I can't be convinced otherwise.
No, you said it the best. Tell the people your description of the whole rivalry, the deconstruction.
Wait, what was it? I don't remember.
You said that the whole rivalry has basically been a deconstruction of and CM Punk.
Yeah, it's like a meta thing. We're going to destroy their characters. We're going to expose them for who they are. I'm going to guess Triple H is in charge of this, getting his rocks off because it's just bothersome. And yeah, it doesn't really work unless Punk has an answer. It doesn't really work unless Punk changes his character or has a good excuse for why we'll call them inconsistencies exist with both the fucking person as important as the character. You can shit on Phil Brooks all you like. It's not really helpful, but sure, feel free. When you shit on the CM Punk character, you're ruining the character. You're ruining one of the biggest draws in your company. Shouldn't he have some type of explanation for why these inconsistencies exist? I don't understand.
I don't understand it. Anything else you want to go into before we get into the show? I do have to refresh my Wi-Fi because I do see I'm freezing on camera a bit.
Fitz. I'm not doing this all day.
I'll be right back. You talk to the people.
Sure. I've been dealing with Fitz all day. It's already started. I haven't even been here. I've been getting blocked and I deal with Fitz again. Listen, sir. No, the wrestling fans shouldn't be dealing with Kendrick and Drake at all. Who are you to say who can deal with Kendrick and Drake? Wrestling fans aren't cool enough to deal with Kendrick and Drake. Please be quiet. How dare you? How are you going to gatekeep Kendrick and Drake? Makes no fucking sense. Enough, you people. No disrespect. Oh, and by the way, I do want to say this. I know Britt is apparently trying to get out of her contract, and apparently AEW doesn't want her to go. I'm very consistent about this. I was consistent about the Lucha Brothers, consistent about Ricky Starks. I'm consistent about Ray Phoenix. And I'll be consistent about Britt Baker. People who don't want to be there and are not being utilized on TV should be let go. Period. Full stop. There's no exceptions to the fucking rule. Period. Well, she's getting paid. Who the fuck is you to put pause on somebody's life? Get the fuck out of here. No. I don't care if she's homeless when they let her go. That's not your concern. She wants to be let go. You don't want to use her. Let her go. Let's move on.
There's been conflicting reports in regards to that.
Okay.
I want to see. I want to hear. I want her to address it in some way, but I know we're not going to get that. But yeah, it was bodyslam.net that reported that she wanted to leave and that AEW were not going to release her right now. And then Fightful came out and said that they haven't heard anything of that sort about her wanting to leave the company, and she could probably be under contract until 2027. And then PW Insider Mike Johnson also reported the same thing, that he hasn't heard anything about Britt Baker requesting her release.
Well, it's not really conflicting. They're not consistent. They're really conflicting. But I'll give AEW the benefit of the doubt, unless she didn't ask for it yet. See how it goes.
We'll see. I said this is gonna be something that you have to. It's like the weather. You have to report on it every day. It seems like this is changing. This has changed multiple times because she's been off television. So we either have to see her return to AEW television, or we have to hear that she's been released.
Yes. Now I do want to say this: if she's refusing angles and such, there's a little leeway there. But mostly, no.
Yeah, because to talk about you being consistent, because you were consistent, like you said, with Ricky and with the Lucha Bros and stuff like that. You did not have the same energy for Rusev.
Oh no,
because we all knew that Rusev had turned down creative. So yeah, you did. You were consistent in that regard. I want to give you credit for that.
That's somebody who doesn't mind being paid to do nothing. Good on you, sir. He's also older than the rest. I get it. Hey, fuck it. I'll sit around. Do nothing.
Hey, he had a good match on Raw this week.
Rusev was the man. He's always been the man. And Sheamus is one of the greatest TV wrestlers ever. But yeah, great match. I'd love to see it a few more times if I could.
I don't know if I want to see it at 20 minutes long. I think they can have a better 10, 15-minute matchup.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
That was my only nitpick. That was my only nitpick with the matchup. I think the matchup would have been like fantastic if it cut like 10 minutes from it. It was really good.
Jesus.
Great at 20 minutes though.
10 minutes is insane. Unless we're talking about a 60-minute match, which I'm not complaining about. Match 2, Okada and what's his face, Omega. But yeah, we got 5 of them. I'm not mad. I thought it was the best match of the week. In case you guys are wondering.
I don't agree with that, but fair.
I'm not surprised at all. They didn't do one flip.
I know. No, I love the physical nature of that matchup. That match was
disgusting.
That match was, like I said, I thought it was great.
2 stars. No flips.
No, I gave it 4 stars. Big Band Dog says WWE seems intent at destroying the magic of pro wrestling by making us consciously aware that everything is fake.
It is an insane business practice when your host, like a magician, who tells you how he does his trick every time he does it. It's like, sir, it's not why I come to the magic show. I want to be very confused by how you just did that.
I don't understand it, and I think that it's only going to get worse with WWE Unreal about to premiere this month.
But to be fair,
It's
whenever he
really
tries to
bad.
BS y'all, you guys give him his case about that too. You know, it's truth is all part of the show. You guys think, no, it wasn't. All right, well, I tried. That's what I do.
Because that one wasn't a part of the show. You're already...
None of this is just what? I should know what's part of the show. That's the whole point. It should all be part of the show.
Roxy says after her return, her matches were. She says after her return, her matches were ass anyways. Talking about Britt, I guess.
It's hilarious. Well, so what? What's that mean? What does that have to do with anything? Swerve's a coon.
Still a
If
star.
he wanted his release, I want him to be released. It's just that simple.
Jesus Christ! Why does it always have to go back to Swerve? It always
Words
is.
and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I love how hypocrisy is a bigger deal to y'all than coon. This is insane. What is going on? Oh, fuck. It's hypocrite. Talk about shit for 3 weeks. This nigga's a coon. We talked about this shit for 12 minutes. If I didn't bring it up every 12 seconds, it would never get talked about on this fucking show.
All right, let's talk about AEW Dynamite 300 from last night from Ontario, California, the Toyota Arena. I thought this was one of the better crowds for Dynamite this year. What did you think?
Yeah, not the same. I'm not doing that. Turn this off. I'm distracted.
Can't even answer my question.
Hypocrite and coon are not the same. Don't do this, good. Don't do this, good. Fucking racist and coon are not the same. Coon is worse than racist. We'll move on. How many people were there? Is that a big crowd? I think that was one of the bigger
5,000.
Right? That is a WrestleMania-sized crowd for Dynamite. That huge fucking crowd. Good on you. Yeah, they were great. Good job.
The show opened with Excalibur welcoming us alongside Ian Riccaboni and Taz, and we heard the music of the number one contender for the AEW World Championship, Hangman Adam Page. He hits the entranceway. He power walks straight out of the tunnel to the ring. Page gets on the mic and he says that he's not wasting everyone's time, as he's already said how much this company and the AEW, the All Elite Wrestling World Championship, means to him. He'll ride through death for it. Page made a promise that at All In he'd win the Men's World Championship, freeing it from the briefcase and holding it over his head. That's a vow he'll keep with his life. You can tie him up and bloody him up, but you'll have to kill Page to let this moment pass him by. If you think he'll let the Elite or the Death Riders' involvement in this, you're the biggest dumbass in the world. Like all of Jon Moxley's matches at All In, he knows the interference is coming. So Page welcomes it. He says that he wants to officially make the challenge for the AEW World Title match at All In to be a Texas death. The music of the AEW World Champion Jon Moxley hits, and Moxley walks out from the crowd with Marina Shafir and the briefcase by his side. Moxley said that Page wants to put all the chips on the table at All In. His life, his health, his career, all on the line with the AEW World Championship in a Texas death match. No. Page might think he wants that, but he doesn't, as Moxley knows that Page doesn't want to win, as he's safe where he's at, not wanting to wake up Sunday morning as champion. The reason Page won the Owen Hart Foundation tournament was it wasn't the highest peak. It was nice, but the top of the mountain, nah, that's too much pressure. Moxley lives in pressure. And while people call themselves the best in the world, that's basic bitch shit. Moxley will show the whole world at All In what a world champion looks like. Something that Page doesn't have inside of himself. Page won't be able to walk away from a Texas death match with Moxley, so he shouldn't have it. This leads to Page slapping Moxley in the face. The fight is on when Moxley tackles him down. He double legs him. Page does get the full mount, and he struggles, but he eventually pulls out a damn fork from his pocket. He tries to stab Moxley in the head with it until Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli come out to make the save. Marina Shafir is in the ring, and she slaps Page 6 times, but Page doesn't budge, allowing Yuta to pick the ankle and Claudio to tackle him from behind. Moxley and Shafir bail through the crowd as Yuta and Castagnoli continue a beatdown, ending with the neutralizer. As they also leave the ring to join the other Death Riders, Page, though he gets to his knees, he grabs the microphone and he asks, if that's all you got. to he says to send Moxley's little lapdog Castagnoli after him because he's still standing, bitch. Castagnoli is pissed off and he goes to walk back, but then Samoa Joe and the rest of the ops walk in through the crowd and show up to have Hangman's back. Could have showed up
Fuck these niggas been
earlier. Yeah. Yuta and Castagnoli, they back off a bit in the crowd, but then Marina Shafir appears behind Hangman. She tries to smack him with the AEW World Title briefcase, but Hangman grabs it from her and knocks her down. He blocks it and he screams on the microphone that he has something that Moxley wants. And he says if he wants it back, he demands Texas death. Moxley eventually, after freaking out a bit, he gets on the microphone and he says if Paige wants it, he'll get it. And he agrees to the stip. Paige tosses the briefcase back to Shafir and he gets on the apron to go leave. He stops on the apron and then he gets on the microphone again. And he says that Moxley thinks that he's not willing to go to those lengths, but he knows that he can hang. I guess a callback to their last Texas Death Match. If Moxley needs a reminder that Paige is willing to do anything it takes, then Paige blasts Marina Shafir with a buckshot lariat. The crowd explodes. They popped huge for that. The Death Riders are left in shock, including Wheeler Yuta here. Paige stands tall in the center ring over Marina Shafir and the AEW World Title briefcase. He then walks off with the Ops, who are more than approving of what just went down, and it is official. It will be Hangman Adam Page challenging Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship in a Texas death match a week from this Saturday, all in Texas. What did you think about this opening segment here? I enjoyed it. I thought it was there was parts that could have been smoothed over. Moxley's promo, definitely, I didn't think he went the right route with it. I think that the one big nitpick that I have is that I wish they would have overtly mentioned that they've had a Texas death match. And the reason why that Hangman wants the Texas death match is that he knows he can beat Moxley in a Texas death match. And that Moxley should have referenced it, at least in his promo, because instead of going the same route he's been going with, oh, the pressure's too high, this promo works with like 90% of the AEW roster. Not Hangman Adam Page, former AEW World Champion. He's been to the top of the mountain. So let's talk like he is. You're not respecting the accomplishments that we all seen him accomplish. So at least like say you think that you could beat me in a Texas death match because you've done it before, but I'm different now. He should have went over all the things he's done since this Death Rider storyline started. He put a plastic bag over a guy he called his friend and his brother. He stabbed somebody in the hand one time. He stabbed himself in the back with a spike and still retained the AEW World Championship. You're not willing to go to those lengths. You could have gone around the same thing, but had more of a focus to it. He has the materials, he just lacks the focus, does Moxley. But I thought Hangman's promo with the challenge was good, and I thought the big moment, the crescendo of Hangman blasting Marina with the buckshot lariat was a good ending to the segment as well. What did you think?
Hangman's promo was really good, actually. I thought it was one of his best ones. It doesn't get as much love as like the Fire or any of those times where he decides he's going to do Shakespeare in the middle of the ring. But to me, this is up there. This is like top 5 for me. It was clear. It was concise. I bought it, which I never do when Hangman talks because he talks like a fucking teacher. However, everything after that was fucking heinous. I'm sorry. Moxley's promo was objectively terrible. It was all over the place. It made no sense. Even if I assume he's lying for his own purposes, this is still a waste of my fucking time because Hangman's not going to buy it. And then the stuff with the Ops come out. Why the fuck are you here? You're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be in the building because if you were in the building, you should have came out 5 minutes ago. This makes no fucking sense. And then the buckshot I thought was great. I thought it was a great close. So if we could just find something else to put in the middle here, that'd be great. So overall segment, we'll say it was fine. No, more than fine. The mugshot looked really good. So we'll say it was solid.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I just think that it could have been better with Moxley having. He has the material right there. Just go over your history with Hangman. Why are we acting like this the first time these people have faced? When you have that whole rivalry that they had in the beginning of 2023, why don't you reference that instead of just focusing on Hangman being down on his luck over the last few months? Not like he's been here for 6 years.
It's such an odd choice. Whatever. He's got listen. Moxley does his own thing. I'm never gonna blame the company for the shit he does. He's got his own shit he wants to yap about. He probably had that written down somewhere. He had to use it for somebody. Fuck it. Hangman.
I think these are all the promos he wanted to do on Darby when he faced Darby. This is all the promos he was meant to do against Darby, and he's just replaced Hangman.
So I try to tell you, you can't just swap niggas in and out. I don't know how that works. He's not Moxley. I said what I was gonna do. I'll figure the rest out.
He's like, I ain't changing this promo. I wanted to do this promo. I'm doing it.
It's a fucking CM Punk promo from fucking a couple years ago. That's why the best in the world thing was in there.
It's fucking the Blake Monroe promo when she did the contract signing, and she's like, I'm signing with the best women's division in the world. Nigga, where?
This is not Raw, man. Please sit down.
Like, did you mean when they had Stephanie and Roxanne and Julia? Yeah, it was the best women's division in the world.
Hilarious.
Stock promos, basically. We got our first super chat donation. Thank you so much, Roxy, for the love and support. So we will give you the mic and let Blake say something.
Speak, bitch. Come on now. Oh.
They go on Twitter. I don't see how this is going to work. This is absolutely ridiculous, Sid.
Double. He really cut her off.
Yeah, he really cut her off. My bad.
Speak, bitch. Come on now. Oh my God, Shivani. What the hell is wrong with you?
It's hitting me every time.
Roxy says, so is Rickenbody permanent for Dynamite? What's the lineup? Rickenbody has been basically consistently on Dynamite over the last couple of weeks, and this week he re-signed with AEW and Ring of Honor. I think up to Rickenbody. I think the weeks that he's not on here, I think it's because he's choosing not to show up or he's doing something else. But I think that now, before when he was working in Ring of Honor or when he first came to AEW, he had like a full-time job that he was doing. But I'm guessing now that he's re-signed, this is his full-time.
Good for him, and more importantly, good for us. Ian is fucking great. He's the best of that bunch, certainly. He's best in AEW outside of maybe Nigel, and he adds something to the table. I wish he would. And mostly, what he adds is a different seat because Shivani's not here. Thank God. Now we just find somebody to replace Taz. Oh, we'll be all good. Can't believe that I'm now Team Excalibur, who has always bored me to tears, but I'm glad he's here.
Yeah, I think the perfect three-man team would be Riccaboni, Nigel, and Callis. That would be the dream team for AEW. But since Callis wants to also be a manager, then it would be Nigel, Excalibur, and Riccaboni.
Sold.
Yeah.
And I was glad if he got to quit his job, whatever his actual job is, what would Ian do? Yeah. I was gonna say he's either a history teacher or a bottom for certain adult films. But
wow, that was outrageous, turn. Outrageous.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I'm kidding. I love Ian. You know this. I just said Ian's great, didn't I? I didn't say he's my favorite commentator. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Teacher. Let's go teacher. can't help myself. I'm sorry.
You really can you?
Got the maturity of a 12-year-old. I'm sorry.
Does my mic sound better now? I see Davion saying my mic sounds like I'm underwater.
It did for a while, but you're good now.
Or do you? Okay. That's what thank you. Always appreciate the feedback in the chat. And thank you for the super chat donation, Roxy. Always appreciate the support. We got also in the chat here. I think it was who was this? That's good opening segment from Power Driver Finisher. We had Clown. He said he was channeling his inner Abdullah. We also got Etika, who says the dude behind Yuta don't care about Marina. This crowd didn't care about Marina. They were cheering for Marina to get her head taken off.
Yeah, I'm there for it.
We got Ace, who says this was a good opening segment. Big Man Dog says it's a bit worrying that they haven't said it's the main event yet. I think they have referenced it and they have built it as the main event of All In. So that's all they need to do. They don't need to announce it until the week of.
Or they could just not announce it. Maybe you all should get used to the idea that it's not the main event.
No, I'm not going to allow you to manifest the worst decision. Why do you want to see AEW burn down?
I know. I'm just saying, you should get ready. You know, this is like somebody's parent being in a deathbed, and you tell them, "Nah, it's gonna be all right. You know what? It's gonna be fine. Don't you worry." Are you helping them or hurting them? Shouldn't you rather say you need to get yourself ready for things that come with things like this? That's what I'm trying to do. You all need to get yourself ready for the things that happen when these things present themselves.
Let's hope your parents don't ever get sick. Like you're morbid, sir.
My mom's been sick. She's been in the hospital for like 2 weeks. So she's like, "Hey, tell my sister, I'm going to be worthless if the worst happens. You're going to be on your own. I'm sorry. I'm not good with grief." So if you need my support, you're in deep shit.
Why don't you have empathy? Do you know what empathy means?
Yes, I got my own pain to deal with. I can't help you with yours. Jesus.
You can't help those that you love?
Yeah, once I feel better, then I'll help you feel better.
Maybe says Hang Avengers Assemble. Good stuff there. We also got Davion, who says that thing with Paige trying to pull something out of his pocket with Mox looking like a goof was weird. Yeah, that was a little weird. That's why I mentioned it when I was describing what happened. It took him a while. Lady B, I did peep this as well, that Mox mentioned mountains like 4 times too. This was meant for Darby.
You can climb that mountain, but you can't climb this mountain. Shut up.
Davion says the fact Jimmy hasn't got SP3 kicked off this platform is astonishing.
I don't mean it, StreamYard. Maybe that's why I keep getting kicked off. I'm trying to save you. Maybe you paid him off.
Davion said solid opening segment. I agree. And two FK says Cole Fletcher to main event. Let us down easily, TJ.
I gotta be honest, even if Hangman loses, which I would say 60-40 at this point, I still think it should main event.
Yeah, it should main event. They've done a good job building to this matchup where we don't know. No one knows for sure. There's people like you that are manifesting, but the fact that I always enjoy main events more. I'm manifesting on the other side, so don't worry. I'm calling you out. I'm going to call myself out. I'm manifesting to the other side, but I like the fact that it's so split on what people think. We might all agree on what we want, but all of us feel differently, and I like that. That's the sign of a good main event build, is that you don't know who's going to win. And I thought on this show, we'll get to it in a little bit, they made another match where now the outcome is not predictable. I like that they did that as well, so we'll get into that later. But up next, we get we get a little cross promotion here, as this episode was
little.
brought to you by Superman. Rachel Brosnahan was with Timeless Tony Storm to do a video promoting Superman. She plays Lois Lane. Lois says that she used to wrestle back in her day, and Storm gives her the nickname the Metropolis Maven, and she tells Storm to put that on a t-shirt, and Storm then makes her way to ringside for our opening contest, as she will be at ringside when Mina Shirakawa challenges Mercedes Mone for the TBS Championship. Storm has a gigantic steak dinner and cake, similar to Mone had a few weeks prior. The bell sounds and Shirakawa attacks immediately, causing Mone to run for cover, but the chase allowed her to sucker Shirakawa in. Apparently, Mone had a picture of Tony Storm taped to the bottom of her boot, and she kicked away at Shirakawa before ripping them off. And we barely got to see the photos, too, which was funny. Both trade pin attempts until Mina trips a leapfrog attempt by Mercedes, who did her dance before rolling up Mone for 2. Mone recovered and slammed Shirakawa down by her hair, but opted to talk some trash to Storm, giving Shirakawa a chance to hit a Thesz press and a hair mirror. Mone responded with a Meteora out of the corner and then sent Shirakawa to the floor before wrenching a ray at her on the mat and mocking Storm, who was just motionless at ringside with a look of kind of like fear and trepidation on her face. During the break, you get Shirakawa trap Mone in a figure 4 around the ring post. And when things return, Shirakawa hit a sliding crossbody and a standing splash on the leg of Mone. Able to battle back, Mone was managed to apply the statement maker, as Storm was looking on very worried at this point. She had the statement maker on, but unable to hold on to it for very long before Mina reversed things into a figure 4 once more. Both ladies rolled to the outside and collapsed to the floor as Storm remained nearly catatonic while staring at Mone. Shirakawa managed to hit a spinning head scissors off the apron and then a tornado DDT off the steps, but Mone returned the favor with a spinning kick and a Meteora off the apron. They barely get back into the ring before the count of 9 with Mina making fun of Mercedes, who thought she had the easy win. Shirakawa ramped up and won a forearm battle between the two until Mercedes went for a sunset flip, rolled through into another Meteora. We get a clunky sunset bomb in the corner, followed up by a 4th Meteora by Mercedes for a 2 count. Loud dueling chants at this point as we get a 5th Meteora almost hit until Shirakawa rolls through and starts slamming down the injured leg of Mone. She then gets a dragon screw and goes right back to the figure 4. Mone managed a rope break this time as Shirakawa hit a sling blade off the top rope for 2. Shirakawa called for the glamorous driver Mina, but Mone rolled through and tried the moneymaker, but Shirakawa countered that into rolling elbows, a ball saw kick where she caught Mone flush in like the side of the head. Spinning back fix connects, and then Mina finally hits the glamorous driver Mina, but Mone is able to get her shoulder just up a few inches off the mat. Shirakawa went for it again, but Mercedes hits a backstabber. Mina no-sells it and hits a sliding kick, but Mone kicks out at 1. Mone then connects with a lung blower tombstone, and then Mina kicks out of that. They trade finishing attempts until Shirakawa goes for a figure 4, but Mone gets the inside cradle for the 1-2-3 to retain the TBS championship. Post-match, Mone takes advantage of Mina arguing with the referee, and she blasts her with the TBS championship. With her back turned, Mone, we get Timeless Tony Storm then comes in and Mone bails from the ring. But when Tony checks on Mina, she attacks her from behind with the TBS championship and knocks her down as well. She then goes to ringside. She picks up the cake, but instead of slamming it in Tony's face as a callback to how she left WWE, which seemed like the easiest thing to do, she instead just licks the cake and then puts it down. She acts like she is was about to hit Luther with it, but then she puts it down. She drinks some champagne and then throws the rest of it at Luther, and then she leaves. Timeless Toni Storm is down with Mina in the ring, and Mercedes retains the TBS Championship. I thought the match was very good. It started off clunky, but I thought it got better as it went on between the two, and they actually had one of Mina's better matches since officially signing. The post-match, though, was weak, and you said it weeks ago. I'm going to have to agree with you that now this build has lacked a lot to desire. The way they did the first segment, I enjoyed the hell out of it. And I think the promo work by both, I thought Mercedes promo on Collision last week was really good. I think all of Toni Storm's promos are excellent. It's crazy that Mercedes, who's not even that good at promos, especially during her AEW run, I think that's been the strongest part of the build to the actual matchup. Whenever they get physical outside of last week's attack, I think that's been the weakest parts of the build. I thought last week's attack and the attack in Arena Mexico were fine. It was fine for what it was, but in totality, that has been the weak part. Just them attacking each other, that doesn't make it feel like this is the biggest women's match out there. It's just felt like a lot has been lacking here to make this feel like the biggest women's match. They told us that in the first promo, but they haven't done anything to make it feel like that in the weeks after. So I think that's where it's really lacking in this rivalry so far. And this post-match was just much of the same, and it made Toni look stupid in the end, which I don't like. What did you think?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Toni. They're clearly doing something that I'm supposed to be getting, but I just don't. She got attacked last week from behind in the beginning of the show, and now she looks scared of Mercedes. Now I am so very confused. It's not like you guys had a shit fight and you lost, which would have been interesting, but whatever. Match was good. Mina and Mercedes. Mercedes is very good in the ring. What the fuck is going on with these thumbs up? Mercedes is very good in the ring, but I thought Mina, you said it was sloppy early. I don't know if I'd say that. I'd say something closer to Mina was sloppy early. And Mercedes was fine. I got to be honest. The more I watch Mina, the more I know it's just vibes. Like, she's very attractive. She's got a lot of energy. But what the rest of it? Does it make you interested in any of that? No? You're good with her dancing off beat and dropping frog splashes on legs? Sure. You know what? She's a star. Sure. Let's go with that. Yeah, it was fine. Post-match also just fine. You said everything you had to say about it. I didn't expect much from the build, and I haven't gotten much. I'm sorry. I've been thoroughly unimpressed. It's the biggest women's match of all time, but just because of who they are. Not anything they've done.
Yeah. Whereas like the Hangman Moxley, before Hangman won the Owen, that option in comparison to Ospreay and Moxley wasn't appeasing, but the buildup has made me appeal to it and like it a little bit more as the main event of All In. This has done the opposite, where this was the money matchup to do if you're going to put the two biggest women's wrestlers in this matchup, but they've done nothing to make me get more into it since then.
I haven't thought about it much, but I would like to take some time to think about what could have been done, because I don't know what I would have done to fix this. This feels ironically like one of the biggest women's matchup in WWE. It feels like Becky and Rhea. It's like, it's fine, I suppose, which is supposed to be the two badasses of the division, two biggest stars in women's wrestling history, and it doesn't.
I think they should have gone more of like a sports build, like that. Like they're the two big titans going at it. Yeah, I know. That's the only reason that I was hesitant to say that. I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't get it. Chilling with Chase says Mone currently sits at a negative a minus 195, and Tony Storm is a nice plus 145 underdog.
I'm not gonna take that. I'm pretty sure fucking Mone's winning.
We got Parjar finisher. It says great matchup. We got him saying fine post segment. Yeah, I think in a vacuum, it's a fine post segment. But I think that because I have to look at it in totality of the build. This build has been lackluster. I'm not as into the matchup as I was when it was first announced.
No, it's not. I didn't complain about the thing I wanted to complain about. Why is Mercedes beating fucking Mina with a roll up, an inside cradle? Why? Why are we protecting Mina against the number one female wrestler in the company? I'm still very confused. And in the build up to the match at All In, I'm still very confused.
It feels like Mercedes is trying to be like the Ric Flair heel champion, where Flair did win a lot of matches because he got an inside cradle like that. That's what the finish reminded me of. Is every time someone tries to do a figure four on Flair and then he gets an inside cradle for the win.
Yeah, hurts my feelings. There's no offense. I don't want to say this. I'll be nice. I'll wait. Mercedes is great.
Now this. Well, Dre doesn't feel that way. He says, I knew Mone was going to win SMH. He says she needs to lose those titles. He's like, y'all ain't getting tired of Mercedes? Well, I do have a message for all you people that were trying to convince us last week that Mina needed to win this matchup. I'm thankful none of y'all got a pen. None of y'all got a pencil in the business. Because y'all... What was that? What was the point of even saying that? Why do y'all want to work? Like, that would be the worst option. Worst possible option. If she's going to lose, it needs to be the timeless Tony Storm at All In.
I mean, yeah.
We got,
not before the at least.
Yeah. I make Beast's fair point. Could have been a bit better built, 1,000%. Roxy says she's 1,000 times better than Vega and Jade. I guess talking about Mina.
So? I hear this argument about Hitler quite a bit, that he didn't kill as many people as Mao or Stalin. So? Still think that's bad. Still think he killed too many people. It's my opinion.
I think Mina's good in the ring. I think she has a star look to her. They have to build her to be a star, but
Why?
I think that she can. Huh?
Why?
She's got charisma. She's got natural charisma.
Why? Because she dances. Enough of this. I'm not gonna let you get away with this. Enough of this. I'm putting my flag in the sand. Enough. I've let
She's
y'all
got live show charisma.
Who said she? I keep seeing it everywhere. Who says she doesn't or does?
I think it was Dave Meltzer. I think it was Meltzer.
Said she doesn't have live show charisma?
No, I think he said she does have live show charisma.
She dances. Offbeat, by the way. There's no rhythm to anything she does in the ring. I meant dancing wise, but in the ring otherwise though.
It was a very good to great matchup.
This is great.
He's like, I'm only rewarding Mercedes with this prize. She's the only one. If this was Xbox, she's the only one that got an achievement. Annika says it feels like they're just improvising, no thought in how to hype it up. I agree. That's what it does feel like. Yeah,
maybe you guys are fucking. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Power Drive Finisher says their characters are good, but the story overall has just been coasting by. Yeah, it's been coasting by on the name value of the two people. That's the best way to say it.
At a certain point, we're gonna have to come to the realization that Tony Storm's character does not lend itself to other things. Tony Storm's character lends itself to people entering the Tony Storm universe. That's why the Mariah stuff worked, because it's her thing. It's Tony's story, and Mariah's the villain of that story. But now Tony's in the middle of a Mercedes story, and none of this clicks at all, even a little bit. Sorry.
We got another super chat donation from our boy Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support.
I'm serious. I'm not going to
sir.
sit back and take this fucking shit.
Chuck Berry says, I like the showing of emotion of concern by Tony Storm and creating some doubt, but this can't be this easy for Mercedes, in my opinion.
I agree with like the idea of Tony maybe realizing she's not top dog around here, that Mercedes is it, but they've done nothing to establish that. Mercedes attacking her from behind is not going to make Tony shouldn't make Tony doubt herself. Why would it? It makes no sense.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like there should have been something, basically what is it, like a checkpoint of where she came to this kind of change in her demeanor.
Yeah, we should have had a tag match of some kind, and then Mercedes beats her clean, done. Tony's like, oh shit, yeah, Mercedes is that motherfucker. Yeah, you're in real shit. It's over.
Yeah. Or Mercedes should have dominated this one. She should have dog walked Mina, and then she gets that type of reaction.
Sold. This is going to be a tough test, Mercedes, and she wins in 5 minutes. It's like,
Davion says Mina versus Mercedes was good. We got King Potato who says Mercedes was wrestling circles around Mina, I'm afraid.
It is what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. They don't want a minute, but it's all right.
2FK says Moxley will be the first to pin Mercedes. Yes, I agree. Like, why was y'all saying? Y'all said this on this show. They said it on True Hill Heat on Sunday. They was like, I think, and I think it was Dion, because Dion was trying to defend it on True Hill Heat on Sunday. Someone else said it. It was like, I think it was Chuck Berry. So it was like, I think. What am I wild to think that Mina's gonna beat Mercedes? And I was like, yes, you are wild. You are wild. and Dion was like, they tried to drag me on AEWramble for saying that. I was like, I'm going to drag you again. No, that's not the right thing to do.
No, you can't do it. You just can't have her lose this fucking match. Yeah. You have Mercedes win this match, by the way, at All In? I got Tony kicking her ass next week, cutting a promo of some kind about how she's the baddest on the planet. Then have Mercedes win.
Then Mercedes wins. Yeah. It really feels like it's Mercedes win. But this is another one though that I can't say for sure either way. That this is the most that I felt like Mercedes can lose.
Yeah. Sure.
He's like, I don't agree, but yeah, sure. Earlier today, Matthew Jackson surprises Nicholas by buying a limousine filled with new sneakers. He uses the company card, saying that this is on Tony Khan's dime. They rode the streets of California, stopping outside their old elementary school. Both rode swings before heading to the next stop. I thought this would be like a show-long story, but right after the commercial break, they just gave us the second part of the story. With the Young Bucks head to their childhood home after stopping at In-N-Out Burger. They seemed disappointed that their house seemed bigger growing up, but quickly opted to head back into the limo because they were kind of over this little road trip that they were doing. They should have made this longer through the show.
What? You should make it shorter, like cutting it, putting it on Collision. Good Lord. Boy. Let me ask you something. How many times do you have to see the ratings for Buck segments before you stop doing things like this? Apparently the answer is it's definitely more than 6 years worth because we are fucking rolling. Good Lord. I don't understand.
Chilva Chase as a tour of Rancho Cucamonga. My God. Hey, they're the most memorable people from Rancho Cucamonga outside of Elroy from Next Friday.
Something.
The Bucks humble as ever. Absolutely. We also got Luis who says, I remember that super chat. Chuck Berry's. Yes, we made that the highlight super chat of the day. 2FK says self-indulgent Buck segment until the heat death of the universe.
This is jarring. What did this accomplish? It tells the Bucks are douchebags. I thought we knew that already. I thought that was the whole point of their character.
We needed a reminder in their hometown, so the crowd wouldn't cheer them in their hometown.
Right. So when Matt Jackson doesn't know like suplex and then fucking hypes the crowd up because he's a brilliant fucking worker. Fucking idiot. Jesus. Dope.
Well, there's one person from this town that they did want to cheer on this show, and that is Brody King. He is next up in the Casino Gauntlet number 2 spot 4-way against MJF with the Hurt Syndicate, AR Fox, and Anthony Bowens. Commentary reminds us that Bowens told Billy Gunn to stay home last week as he tries to get back on the winning track. Spoiler alert, he would not, but King received a huge hometown area pop and had a brief but awesome little stare down with Lashley before the match started. MJF tried paying off King at the opening bell with a stack of cash. That looked like a healthy amount of G's there. MJF tries to pay him off, but King just threw it down, so we had money all sprawled off throughout the ring for much of this matchup. Eventually, all the baby faces try to go after MJF, but he hides behind the Hurt Syndicate until King had enough and just mowed down both Bowens and Fox. MJF joined the commentary team. MVP basically told him to let the idiots take each other out before picking up the pieces. Fox and Bowens battled back to take down King before Bowens hit a series of float over DDTs. Fox swept out Bowens' leg on the apron. He missed his initial float over double stomp, but then hit it on a second attempt, wiping out King with an explosion dive on the opposite side of the ring. As Bowens and Fox fought on the outside, then King recovered and hits an awesome-looking tope suicida onto both men. MJF then catches him from behind and hits a chair shot to the back. MJF then was clobbered by a chop by King as things return from commercial break. As Fox blocked a kick from MJF, who backflipped out and poked the eye, Bowens made the save and helped Fox take out MJF, but again, King steamrolled both of them for a complete reset. Bowens hits a combo blockbuster on King, who DDT'd MJF at the same time before spiking Fox with a corner DDT for 2. Fox then battled back with a leg sweep on MJF and a roll-through corkscrew brainbuster for 2 of his own. King hits a discus forearm on Fox, a black hole slam on Bowens, and a succession of cannonballs until MJF moved and ramped up corner strikes of his own. Flash roll-up on King got a near fall as MJF went to the chair again, which is legal, but King punched right through it. With everyone stacked in the corner, we get a triple cannonball by King for a close 2 count. Everyone took turns hitting cutter variations as Fox went up to the top rope. He hits a 450 splash, but King kicks out. Bowens decks Fox with the mollywop, but MJF was there with the hammerlock DDT. King avoided a heat seeker and caught MJF in a rear naked choke, hanging him off the apron as MJF was collapsed to the floor. Bowens planted Fox with the arrival. He tried it on King, who spiked him with the Gonzo bomb. Fox flew in and broke up the cover out of the camera shot. MJF recovered, though, in time. He locks the salt of the earth on Fox with both of the other opponents down, and Fox quickly taps out for MJF to win the number 2 spot in the Casino Gauntlet coming up at AEW All in Texas. Post-match, Mark Briscoe came out with a shirt that read, MJF has a tiny kosher pickle. I wouldn't be surprised if you can buy that at Shop AEW. Tiny pickle chants ran out from the Ontario crowd as Briscoe said he's not addressing Lashley, Benjamin, or MVP, but the one who called him a blue collar bitch last week. Blue collar he wears as a badge of honor, but the bitch comment he takes personal. So he's challenging MJF to leave the Hurt Syndicate behind and have a little talk just between them next week. If MJF has a pair of little nuts next to his tiny pickle, he'll meet him in the ring next week. That was made official, so we'll get face-to-face MJF and Mark Briscoe in a talk next week. And also Briscoe will be in action this Saturday on Collision 100 as he teams with Hologram and another MJF rival, Mystico, to verse RPG Vice and Hechicero. We'll talk about what happened to the Hurt Syndicate right after this, but what did you think about the four-way MJF, Fox, Brody, and Bowens and the post-match with Mark Briscoe?
If the post-match, if next week's talkie talk doesn't start with Briscoe just punching him right in the mouth and then beating him down, this is the biggest waste of time ever. We're going to set a meeting to talk next week. We're talking right now. What do we need to talk about? You're worried about the Hurt Syndicate? Great. It's a good thing you're on the fucking ramp and they're in the ring so we can have this conversation right now. The fuck are we doing? Anyway, the match was good, though. I enjoyed the match quite a bit. That was great. I thought all four styles clashed nicely. Only thing that bothered me was MVP interrupting MJF while he's on commentary because he refused to let MJF do anything on his own. He can't even talk by himself. MVP's a glory hound. I think that's fair to say at this point. I've been holding off on it. But ever since who's the bounty hunter? Brian Keith. Ever since he buried Brian Keith, I've noticed it more and more. Like he's kind of here for himself. And it's kind of gross. Luckily, he is good at talking, which is just better. So let him do his thing, if you don't mind. The match was great. I thought everybody showed out well. AR Fox is getting over. Good for him. And Anthony Bowens is not, because there's nothing to really get over. Sorry.
Brody was awesome here.
Oh, Brody was obviously. I was at MJF. Brody was the best of the bunch. It is what it is. It's fantastic. He's in the wrong company because he's over 5'10" and doesn't wear a headband or no shoes or do flips. But otherwise, he is fucking fantastic. Yeah, I enjoyed the match thoroughly. Post-match, kind of terrible.
Oh, no, it would get terrible. Just wait a second. We got Chilling with Chase. It says Anthony Bowens trying to get people to do his pose during his theme to crickets was hilarious. He's such a creative wrestler.
I'm sorry. He is gay, right? He's not bisexual?
Yeah, he's gay.
Yeah, being gay and dressed like a superhero is not quite enough.
You're going to have to try something new, sir. The fact that Max Caster losing all the time, but just being annoyingly delusional heel is more over than Anthony Bowens being the 5'2" player. That's hilarious. That's just hilarious.
Everything about it is so vapid. I don't want to keep shooting the gay guy. I mean, it's kind of outrageous, but it's just an empty fucking husk of a gimmick.
It really just feels like the New Age Outlaws breaking up in 1999, and we're just going to have to get back to them reuniting like they did with the Outlaws.
Yeah. It's jarring. Bones he's a good worker. Like, that's quite literally the beginning and the end. Sorry.
We also got Big Man Does. This is that drop Toho MJF did at the finish should be his version of when Angle locks in the grapevine. Yeah.
Oh. I'm not mad at that. That's pretty clean.
Yeah.
It did look pretty cool.
It did. That was a nice little like variation.
Is he ad-libbing because homie's feet was too close to the ropes?
I think he was, but I would love him to keep doing it.
Yeah, that's great.
We got Annika who says, listen, not trying to compare harshly, but the best thing about Royal Rumble is being surprised. So I don't know if knowing MJF and Briscoe starting was necessary. Well, it is necessary in this style of matchup because the matchup can end at any time. So I think it's not the same. It's you're making a false equivalency, basically, Annika. This is not the same as the Royal Rumble. I understand the Royal Rumble. You do want number 1 and 2 to be a surprise, but we've had Royal Rumbles also that we knew who 1 and 2 was going to be as well. So I don't really have an issue with this at all.
I take your point about wanting to be surprised by who 1 and 2 are, and I would agree. But I think the trade-off for what we're getting is worth it. I think it's worth it. Dev. It's stress the importance of this thinking at any time. I think it's worth it.
Yeah. Chilling with Jay says Brody King will be a great 3-month reign TNT champ one day.
Absolutely. Well, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I really feel like the Buddy injury stopped it from. I think it's been harmful to not just Brody and where he was going to be and what he was going to be doing, but also the Hurt Syndicate.
It has been harmful, yes, because it's forced Tony Khan to be creative and he's not, so it's kind of his fault. I agree completely. Buddy Matthews should not be this important to anybody's fucking plans. Outside of Rhea Ripley's. That's about it.
Alexander Fitzgerald says Anthony Bowens is Jason Jordan generic. God damn.
What botch that was. Kurt Angle's son.
Freaking Mac Caster is Chad Gable if he didn't know how to wrestle.
Oh, props on that. I hated it at first. Putting Ludwig in the mask, I hated it, and then I loved it. It's like it's so ridiculous.
It is creative. I'll give him that. Yeah,
and it gets good Ludwig on TV. It's good for him.
Mm-hmm. All right, I guess I wasted enough time. Mark Briscoe leaves, and then Jet Speed. They hit the ring. They quickly hit a pair of super kicks and dives onto Lashley and Benjamin. Bayley and Knight have their ribs heavily taped up after last week's ass beating. And like clockwork, Lashley and Benjamin gain control and quickly beat down Jet Speed yet again. MVP and MJF take a seat ringside as MJF grabs some of his money from earlier and says he has 100 on the Hurt Syndicate. As Lashley and Benjamin leave, Knight says that they're still standing and they haven't finished the job yet. MVP told them one more time as Benjamin and Lashley come back to the ring. They pick up Speedball and Knight and deliver a powerbomb and Dominator at the same time. They go to leave again, but Bayley and Knight get up yet again. So Lashley and Benjamin come back a third time and beat the hell out of them again. As Benjamin hits the running knee to Kevin Knight, Lashley hits another Dominator to Bayley. Knight says that they're still alive and says that they'll have to learn to just how to hurt them because they must have learned how to fight. Benjamin must have learned how to fight from his mama because he hits like a bitch. And he challenges him to a matchup on Collision. This might be one of the worst AEW World Tag Team title feuds ever. Like, all they've done is just whoop their ass. Like, they had that one time on Fyter Fest when this whole thing really started, where they got the better of them post-match after they beat LFI in that great matchup. They got one up on them that one time, and we've gotten 4 straight weeks of them getting their ass handed to them. They lost at Summer Blockbuster and got beat down post-match. Then they got beat up another week. Then they got beat up last week and put through the table. And then you whoop their ass 3 times? And just because they got up, that's supposed to be like, oh, they showed heart. They got more heart than brains. How about you just give them one time to look good? Make this a little bit interesting.
Nah, Mark.
So the match on Collision is not going to be Kevin Knight versus Shelton Benjamin because they did do an online exclusive where Nick Wayne stepped up. He said Christian is away this week, but he's told him to continue their path to become the first ever father and son AEW World Tag Team Champions. So he's basically got himself into the matchup. So it's going to be Shelton versus Kevin Knight versus Nick Wayne on Collision this Saturday. It seems like they're smartly not going to do Jet Speed versus Hurt Syndicate because they killed that dead. They're at least going to do now a 3-way of Jet Speed, Patriarchy, and Hurt Syndicate, which I will give them credit is the only way I could see Jet Speed winning this. It's them pinning Patriarchy or Patriarchy pinning Jet Speed. This is the only way to get these tag team titles off of Hurt Syndicate, which looked like a great idea when it first happened in January, but it has literally gone nowhere.
I'm glad you mentioned the Collision thing. That's what to say. If this Benjamin Knight matchup lasts more than 3 minutes, everybody in the booking committee should be fired because clearly they're hurt, and Shelton Benjamin's a monster. At least in AEW is. So this really shouldn't last very long. I don't think Jet Speed is very bright, clearly. I mean, from a not getting your ass kicked perspective, or from even a wrestling perspective, because we keep getting up. To be fair, they only have to keep you down for 3 seconds. Then the match is over. So I'm not entirely sure what we're proving here. This is insanity. This is like the opposite of the Bucks thing from before, where this time we are paying attention to the ratings. So we're going to put the Hurt Syndicate on and for as long as possible, as many times as we fucking can. And it's getting worse by the week. Not the ratings. The ratings are fine. But the quality is getting worse by the week. This is by far the worst. We buried Jet Speed. Though we probably should be. And
shouldn't you blame Bailey was getting over. Kevin Knight was doing well before this whole thing started. Why do you need to do this? Why does this need to be the feud?
They're feisty baby faces. We keep fighting, even though we're getting our asses kicked. Did the crowd chant one more time? What the fuck's going on?
Yes, they did. Because they're dweebs. You made them dweebs.
Oh, what a terrible idea.
It's so bad. Oh my god.
Yeah. This is I mean, I love that they need help.
This is the black eye on this fucking episode. This episode would have get really high marks, but this one segment is just like, what are we doing? What is wrong with this tag team division? Can we never get this tag team division right? It's been like 2-3 years now.
It's an easy fix. And the fix is obvious. I'm not entirely sure why they broke it in the first place. The Hurt Syndicate should lose the tag team title match, obviously. Not getting pinned, because that'd be a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But MJF wasn't around to help because MJF's not in this for them. He's in this for himself. We all know this. And then they should turn babyface because the Bucks are heels and FTR are heels. This is insanity. What are we doing?
Unless you're putting one of these super babyface teams of like Ospreay and Swerve or the Golden Lovers into the tag team division, which I don't see them doing. That's the only solution outside of they should probably lose in a multi-man matchup where they don't get pinned and then turn babyface themselves and feud with the Bucks.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Imagine Austin Rock with babyfaces so that you turn Triple H babyface. Great. Bring an idea.
No, this is like you just keep in 1999 after the Austin Rock feud, you just kept Rock heel. despite the fans cheering for him. That's what they're doing with the Hurt Syndicate, and then try to do heat segments against plucky baby faces. Rock comes out and he's beating up X-Pac every week instead of turning babyface.
He's a bad guy.
We got a super chat donation here from Chuck Berries once again. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries. Always appreciate the support, good sir.
Listen up, you prick.
Chuck Berry says, to be fair, when you look at the Hurt Syndicate and then look at Jet Speed, would you expect anything else but what we got, LOL? No, but there are
I'm with you, sir.
That. There are ways around that. Rey Mysterio was able to get one-ups on Big Show heading into a pay-per-view matchup. Why? Because he was quick, he got in a few shots, and he got the fuck up out of there. You could do something like that, like with Jet Speed, where it's not them just getting dweebed out every fucking week.
They should be smarter. So I think they're smaller and idiots. Doesn't help.
How about you just do what you did originally with them hitting the super kick and the dive, and then MVP's the one that be like, not right now, guys, we're not getting paid. That's their whole character, is that they hurt people to get paid. They're hurting people for no reason.
I know you guys are very down on the segment. I'm not down on the segment. I'm just down on the 2 beatdowns afterwards. I'm good with the first beatdown. Just wasted too much of my time. Beat down, they were done. Idiots. Or they can hit this stupid super kick and this stupid splash and then run away.
Yes, that too. It's amazing.
Done and dusted.
It's like, why can't either? It seems like neither one of these top 2 companies in North America know how to book tag teams. Triple H got the heel New Day. Give it to him. He does the great heel New Day, the New Day heel turn at the end of December, and then just completely bombs it. He gets the Street Profits and Motor City Machine Guns and DIY having an instant classic TLC matchup after they were left off the WrestleMania card. What are they doing now? We're taking bumps for the Wyatt 6.
His love for Bray Wyatt is still disturbing. I said at the beginning, I hate this gimmick. I hate everything about the fucking Wyatt 6. Mostly that I waste my time. No. To answer your first question, no, they can't be booked properly. They don't like tag team wrestling. I don't know if you guys have picked this up. Vince McMahon has infected the world, not just his own company, but the world with hatred of tag team wrestling. Good on him. I'm sure that'll be his legacy.
It's like, so many people followed in my footsteps. I must have been doing something right.
2010, what was that division? What that division to play? I gotta be honest, I said this before. I thought this should have been the DX Jericho show and whatever thing. Now we still have a chance to do that with as you said, Golden Lovers, and you got Ospreay and Swerve. I don't see that. I mean, unless Ospreay and Swerve lose and they've got nothing else to do.
Yeah, then you got something to do, which I was gonna get into a little bit later here. Annika says at least WWE have babyface tag on Raw. Does Raw have babyface tag teams? Who's on Raw that's a babyface tag team? Because the best tag team match on Raw was this week, was New Day versus Judgment Day, 2 heel teams, and the fans just chose the Judgment Day over the New Day.
I like it.
Yeah. And it's something new. I was like, the Judgment Day's never been babyface. I was like, that's the best direction to go with them. They're already cheering Dominic. They were Ray into Finn Balor and JD McDonough, who proved they could be a good babyface tag team, and they already love Liv, so why not? The War Raiders don't count, man. We saw that. No, because we saw them win the World Tag Team titles, and somehow they cared. The fans cared less than Triple H cared when New Day got the titles.
They're still baby faces. Stop your Viking erasure. What was I gonna say? Jet
Speed are babyface tag teams.
I'm not knocking it. They are.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to get bitched out. I'm just happy. It makes me happy. That's how it should be. This tiny man with fucking no sandals just fucking fighting Bobby Lashley. Enough. What are we doing? Enough. Crush this cocksucker. So to speak. What was I gonna say? Oh, right. I don't think Judgment Day is ever going to break up. Ever. I think they're going to be like Bullet Club. I'm calling it now. I'm calling my shot. It'll just be different variations of the same fucking group for the next 10 fucking years, even if after everybody stops caring. Probably never should have cared in the first place. That's it.
I can see that. Or like the Bloodline. The Bloodline is still going on, basically. They just don't want to give them. They just don't want to give Solo's group the name because they're like,
yes, Roman won. How are they the Bloodline?
They're like people might notice we're still doing the Bloodline saga. Let's not name them. This whole thing about them not wanting to name these factions is annoying me. I don't know about y'all, but it's annoying me. Why doesn't Sep's group have a name by now? Why is Solo having a bloodline that's not called the Bloodline? Like,
the Seth thing bothers me. I will say that the Bloodline are kind of hilarious. And what can you name it? Roman fucking beat what's his face? He beat
South
Solo.
Pacific Savages, Samoan SWAT Team 2.0.
South Pacific Savages. Jesus.
Yeah, that was Jacob Fatu's group in when he was on MLW.
Holy shit. New Blood. That's pretty good. But, I mean, you own all that shit, don't you? The New Blood, absolutely.
New Blood. We got the Young Bucks finally arrive in their limousine and they pull up to the arena. They walk out in their ring gear and then they come into the arena for our trios matchup, heroes versus villains, as the Young Bucks team up with the Alpha, Konosuke Takeshita, to verse the team of Ring of Honor World Champion Bandito and the Paragon, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. Right from the start, you had the feel of this was going to be a PWG style matchup because you had the PWG chants at the start. Then it switches to AEW chants. We get early on Bandito and Takeshita going at it. They ramp each other up. They had a really lightning fast sequence that ended with Takeshita faking going for a punch at the same time that Bandito does his gunslinger pose. Both have the other well scouted until Nicholas flies in with an arm drag while screeching Lucha Libre. Double team backbreaker by the Bucks, who follow with a flying back elbow to Kyle O'Reilly. But Roderick Strong is able to fight back. He isolates Matthew. Strong and O'Reilly hit double team of their own before Strong missed a baseball slide and ate a super kick from Matthew. O'Reilly flew in with a running knee off the apron. Nicholas ran with a kick off the apron, but then Bandito connects on a dive before finally Takeshita hits a somersault dive onto the pile before we go to commercial break. Back from break, we get Bandito laid out Nicholas with a pop-up cutter, giving Strong and Matthew a chance to tag in. Strong starts going crazy with it with some sick kicks, an angle slam, backbreaker, locomotion forearms on Matthew, who made a blind tag in the process as Nicholas took turns dishing out a series of kicks before O'Reilly took them both out with a combo strike. Matthew was locked in the front chancery, but countered into a Northern Lights suplex before catching Strong with a double Northern Lights. Bandito ran in and he hits a one-handed gorilla press slam on Matthew as Takeshita ran in and hits a wild-looking Blue Thunder bomb. Bandito tried a charge, but Takeshita hits the biggest pop-up power bomb you'll ever see for a close near fall. The match breaks down as Strong hits a superplex on Matthew. O'Reilly flew in with a knee on Nicholas as Bandito hit a backflip fall away slam on Takeshita and everyone's down. Nicholas recovered and ran wild with a moonsault off the apron on Strong, but Bandito was there and meets him with an X knee. Bandito signals for the 21 plex, but gets doubled hip toss by the Young Bucks into a freaking bastard driver from Takeshita, who holds him still for the Young Bucks to make it into an indie taker. Takeshita then hits then holds him up, and they hit the double super kick into a wheelbarrow German suplex. This was convoluted because you get Takeshita getting the pin, and the Young Bucks have to hold on to Strong and O'Reilly until they're pushed into the cover to break the count. I hate that spot. Bandito's body was dragged to the Paragon's corner as Strong and O'Reilly made quick tags. They hit a combo before the Bucks ramp up a super kick party, but O'Reilly exploded with the Nigel Lariats. O'Reilly ultimately hits a double super kick, then the world-class forearm from Takeshita. They then set him up, and they hit an EVP trigger at the same time. Takeshita hits the power drive knee. They then O'Reilly sold this like death, yo. He came up like a limp body when Takeshita picks him up, drops him with a raging fire. 1, 2, 3. Takeshita and the Bucks pick up the win in an awesome trios matchup. This was balls to the wall, nonstop action. The pacing was incredible. The timing on everything was to perfection, and the crowd went crazy. This was the loudest crowd reactions of the night during this matchup. Post-match, you get the Bucks and Takeshita are celebrating. Takeshita leaves the ring when Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland show up and go after the Bucks. The Bucks quickly bail from the ring, but then Swerve gets on the mic and he says that they actually questioned last week, but still haven't got an answer. They said that it's not about becoming EVPs. They had to explain that they don't want to be EVPs themselves, as he doesn't trust Ospreay or himself with that power, as the EVP should be about the fans and Tony Khan. Ospreay called them the young cucks, as Matthew says that they aren't the bosses, they're the EVPs, not them. If they want an answer, it's hell no. What do they get out of this? Which was the right answer. The Bucks went to leave, but Ospreay has something else to say that they might be interested in. He goes to Swerve and he tells him to trust him. Then Ospreay says if the Bucks win at All In Texas, he and Strickland can't challenge for the AEW World Championship for 1 year. Cody Rhodes is punching air right now. He's like, you could put 1 year on it? It doesn't have to be your career? Strickland was pissed off by this suggestion, which pleased the Bucks, who quickly accepted, but only if Swerve agreed. After contemplating about it for 10 seconds, Strickland eventually gets on the mic and says that he accepts. The Bucks are very pleased, and he says they'll see those pricks at All In. So if the Bucks lose, they are no longer EVPs. If Ospreay and Swerve lose, if they are no longer able to get a shot at the AEW World Championship for 1 year. So it is official. Young Bucks versus Swerve and Ospreay at All In Texas a week from this Saturday. I absolutely love the trios matchup. I do agree with you. The peak of the matchup was that crazy triple team of the bastard driver, Indy Taker, into the double super kick, into the wheelbarrow German suplex. That's the peak of the matchup, and that should have been the finish. But I don't mind them completely murdering Kyle O'Reilly, because Kyle O'Reilly sold the shit out of it. So I don't mind that too much. I love that trios matchup. One of the better Dynamite matches in recent memory to me. This was like basically the prototype for an AEW party match. The crowd was on fire. Everyone was on point. The Young Bucks feel like they're back into like a couple of years ago when they were one of the best tag teams in the world instead of what they were doing last year. A lot of the people kind of over-exaggerated the Young Bucks being washed. They've been showing since their return that they are back to being in that mode of one of the best tag teams in the world today. Takeshita is one of the best, if not the best, in-ring performer in the world today. Bandito has been going insane in the ring ever since going to Mexico and putting on match of the year candidates with Masquerada Dorada and Mystico. And I really like Paragon here. I thought that Kyle O'Reilly was great with his selling. Roderick Strong's been great the last 2 weeks. I know you complimented him last week for the Fatal 4-Way, but he was really good here as well, back-to-back weeks where I thought he had one of the better matches on Dynamite. Everybody was on point. Loved that trios matchup. And I really enjoyed this post-match here. I thought that the whole suggestion of Ospreay and Swerve not getting a shot for a year is more realistic for them to lose this matchup than if they put their career on the line, which I thought that was the route they were going to go. If they put their career on the line, it's obvious Ospreay and Swerve are winning at All In Texas. By them not challenging for 1 year, it's a actually a possibility that the Bucks can win, because 1 year from now puts you perfectly for Ospreay to get his shot at Wembley next August, because it's 1 year from losing at All In. And do we really need Ospreay to go against Hangman if he wins the title, or Swerve to go against Hangman if he wins the title? Not really. You rather put them on a different path, not having them get a shot for a year, so it's realistic for the Bucks to win. So now they've made the matchup. It seemed obvious Swerve and Ospreay were going to win, as a little bit more of a mystery. So I liked it. What did you think?
I did not like it. Swerve's promo was fucking terrible.
Oh no, Swerve was bad. Swerve was bad here. He shouldn't have been the one to be like, the fans are going to be AVPs. He's veering too far away from the anti-hero that made him so popular.
He's veering into who he actually is as a person, and we don't need that in life. His slurping of Tony Khan and the fans has always made me sick. It made me sick in real life, and now it's making me sick on TV. Fantastic. I'm glad we got that cleared up. You are a fantastic anti-hero, and now you're just ill. The match I thought was great. I had quite a blast. We know Takeshita is the man, but I don't even think he was the MVP of this matchup. That probably goes to Bandito, who was splendid. Everybody else is a very good wrestler or a great wrestler. Except Matt Jackson, who she stands next to one. And it worked. It works for me. All the spots hit what they need to hit, outside of the double Northern Light suplex. And I'm glad we spent all that time fucking getting ourselves over as douchebags, only for me to hit that move and then play to the crowd. Brilliant. That's why he's one of the best in the business. How do you stand next to Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes and not know how to work a crowd? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're gonna move on. But yeah, it should have ended with the wheelbarrow spot, but it didn't, and it went too long because they always do. But it didn't hurt the match too much for me. I thought it was great. I said how awful Swerve was here. This not the first time he's cut this promo either. He's cut this promo before. We was talking about how he's here for the fans and all this other horse shit. This is who he really is. Please, never forget. Don't let the dreads and the grill fool you, ever. The nigga's from Washington, and he's a coon. So you're going to get what you get. Here for the people. I got to make these white people love me, and they do. Good. I'm glad it worked out for you. As far as the step goes, everything you said is perfect. I like the step. I buy that the Bucks can win this match. In fact, I can't believe I'm ever saying this. I kind of want the Bucks to win this match. I think the story.
It's the more interesting option.
Oh, certainly. Why would you want to have the fucking Ospreay and Swerve win some vague power in the company, which doesn't actually exist? Instead, Swerve getting fucked for a year because Ospreay's an idiot is, first of all, hilarious. And then number two.
I was going to say, and then he has to help Hangman, and he has to watch him be champion for you.
And then he's got to watch Hangman. You know what? That needs to happen. Matter of fact, I hope that's what calls Hangman. The Swerve after getting fucked is not going to help. Because fuck all of you. How dare you? But he should help because his character says he would. Because it's not about him. It's about the fans. Oh, boy. I appreciate his consistency, though. He doesn't want me to like him as a person, and now he doesn't want me to like him as a character. I appreciate the consistency.
Well, we got a difference of opinion here. We got 2FK says, I absolutely despise this stipulation. Makes Ospreay in the main event at Wembley 26 incredibly predictable. Owen tournament next year loses its unpredictability. A lot of you were actually one of the people who predicted that Ospreay. You said it was a foregone conclusion. Ospreay was going to win the Owen this year, so it doesn't lose predictability because Tony Khan can change his opinion at any point.
Hey, you said that.
I remember people, and I remember you were one of the people. That's why you were so upset when Hangman won, because you swore on everything that Ospreay was going to win the Owen. So don't tell us that. That's BS.
Oh shit.
Chuck Berry says this was a banging ass matchup. We also got Davion who says this trio was dope. We got Big Man Doug saying him glazing Tony on TV was hilarious.
Fucking insanity. What does he have against his own character? I don't get it.
Annika says, but then who will Hangman go up against? MJF,
Nobody.
Bobby Lashley.
What are you guys talking about?
No, I don't want to hear from you. No, I don't want to hear from you, sir.
paradigm shift, and then we move on to Moxley and Darby, or Moxley and another Dragon match, or Moxley and whatever. Gotta let it go. You guys gotta move on.
I don't want to hear from you, sir.
It's like me sitting here talking about, but when LA Knight wins the belt, then what's gonna happen? No, what are you talking about, Jimmy? What? No, let it go.
At least you've accepted that. At least you accepted that.
Come on, man.
No, but there's more. Like if Hangman wins, there are options out there. Like he has I love the fact that they left the MJF feud where it was, because it's really unfinished, and now they can revisit it if Hangman is world champion, because MJF's been talking about getting another shot at the world title, and now they're 1-1. So that can go back to Switchblade Jay White. If he shows up, he has Hangman's number. He could be another one who goes after the world championship. Bobby Lashley, they haven't even flirted with him going after a world title and being a main eventer in the company. Ricochet's never done anything with Hangman before.
All right, take it easy.
There's options.
Yes, Hangman and Ricochet make a very good collision main event, but let's take it easy.
I hate you so much. I do. I love you as a friend, but I hate you when you talk about wrestling. We got a video of the actors from Superman, Nicholas Hoult and David Corswing, with Kenny Omega and MJF to promote the new Superman movie. Omega got along with Superman as MJF found a common bond with Lex Luthor.
Just standing over these two like they're children. Jesus fucking Christ. Don't show that presentation at all on the show. Where's all my complaints about this discussing capitalism all over the show? Oh, well. Suddenly the platform away. Never mind. We'll move on.
With Ospreay and Swerve still in the ring, we get the next matchup, which was another heroes versus villains matchup, as it's Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana in their corner versus LFI's Beast Mortos and Dralistico. Mortos didn't wait for his intro. He ran right to the ring and then he clobbered Ospreay. We get double Hurricane Radas from Ospreay and Swerve in response, as Dralistico was laid out with a dueling big boot before stereo dives to the outside by both men. But you could still see there's some dissension between them for the decision for the stipulation. We get a step-up Hurricane Rana from Ospreay as Swerve met Mortos with a sliding kick and a rolling flatliner. Dralistico briefly grabbed Nana ringside, distracting Strickland and Ospreay enough to allow Mortos to fly to the outside with Tornillo. We get Dralistico and Mortos in control during the commercial break before we eventually come back with Strickland kipping up into a super kick to rock Mortos, and then he gets the hot tag to Ospreay. Ospreay ran wild. He hits a handspring Pele kick, Sasuke special on the pile to the outside, and then Pip Cheerio on Mortos for a 2 count. Ospreay missed a corner charge, allowing Mortos to hit a backstabber, and Dralistico off the top with a double foot stomp, multiple revolution DDT on Swerve, and then Dralistico hits a crazy-looking springboard Canadian Destroyer on Ospreay before Mortos completely takes him out with a spear. Mortos tries a pop-up Samoan drop, but Ospreay counters into a crucifix bomb. We get Swerve and Ospreay working together as we get Swerve does a double the Swerve stomp into Ospreay doing a Stormbreaker. Then Dralistico was taken out with a Styles Clash into the house call. 1, 2, 3. Swerve and Ospreay got on the same page and they pick up the victory here. Really good work towards the end with Ospreay and Swerve doing their double teams where they at points during these matchups over the last couple of weeks, they looked like they could be the best tag team in AEW, the way they work so well with one another, and they did that again here. Good matchup, but probably the weakest on the show out of all of them, which is crazy that shows you the in-ring quality on the show, that Ospreay is in one of the worst matches.
Shows you the self-indulgence of this Ospreay Swerve horseshit. Listen, we're all here for dissension. But we need dissension in 5 minutes, and then we get to go home. Don't need 10 minutes of this nonsense. It's Dralistico. Can we go, please? And thank you.
It was 8.5 minutes.
That's 3.5 minutes too long. Let's go home. Please and thank you. How much is the overrun this week?
I think they were 10 minutes.
See? Could save us some time. Need help.
Oh, they had to rush through everything.
Rush through everything? What do you mean?
Yeah, they rushed through everything. They rushed through this matchup.
Not enough. If it was 8.5 minutes. Good Lord. That'll be nice.
See,
Take a 10 minutes
go.
with Kai and Tai.
The chat's got your back, saying I'm overdoing with Ricochet. So there you go.
Yeah, he's entertaining. He's like he's Al Snow. I don't need to see fucking Triple H versus
Al Snow. That's wild.
Event.
That's wild.
Triple H and Al Snow.
He's a fringe. He could be a fringe main eventer.
No, he cannot.
Main eventer of Dynamite against the world champion. Special episode.
Oh, you know what? Sure, absolutely. Like Jake Hager, I remember. Yeah.
Not like Samoa Joe versus Moxley on Beach Break. Like that.
No, like Jake Hager and Moxley. Whenever the fuck that was.
Oh, now that's outrageous. Now we're comparing them to Jake Hager.
Is that not a main event on Dynamite? Wasn't that built throughout the entire show? It's one of the best builds they ever did for a main event.
In the pandemic, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the match was not good because he's Jake Hager.
Yeah. And he's John Moxley. Don't forget it. Now that you get that off, don't do that. Good.
No. You wanna blame one. You wanna blame one person for a good match. I'm gonna blame one person for a bad match. AEW Continental Champion Kazuchika Okada going one-on-one with Kota Ibushi is our main event for this week's Dynamite. Okada's got Don Callis and Lance Archer in his corner. This is Ibushi's second match back in AEW. Riccomboni brings up that the last time both have faced each other was in the G1 Climax 2021, where Okada won via referee stoppage when Ibushi severely separated his shoulder. Thank you, Riccomboni, for being here, because Taz then just tries to put over New Japan Pro Wrestling. For those unaware, both Ibushi and Ospreay and Okada being the most widely decorated wrestlers in the world, but it came off hollow from Taz. So sorry. Bell sounds and we already get holy shit chants from the crowd. Don Callis joined the commentary team saying that Okada can't wait to put Ibushi down. Okada teased a clean break in the ropes as Ibushi fired back with some strikes, causing Okada to bail. Back inside, Ibushi connected with a flying kick, sending Okada right back outside, where Ibushi met him with a slingshot crossbody. Ibushi took way too long with the high-fiving of fans, which caused Okada to tease a DDT on the floor. Ibushi avoided it and then charged, but then Okada hits a drop toe hold into the steel steps. Back from break, Ibushi was able to hit a drop kick for a double down. Ibushi recovered first and unleashes a series of kicks before switching to palm strikes, leading to a standing moonsault by Ibushi. Ibushi then did the Nakamura Yeho pose and then hit a Bombaye for a near fall. Okada responded with a flapjack and then applied the money clip. Ibushi was able to escape, but Okada connects with the air raid crash neckbreaker. Okada getting signature 0 hang time on the elbow drop before doing his Rainmaker flip-off pose. Ibushi fought back out of the Rainmaker, and Okada was there to hit a shotgun dropkick, launching Ibushi into the corner, smacking his head on the bottom turnbuckle. Forearms from Okada only woke Ibushi up, who started lighting up Okada with some real hard-looking strikes. Referee Paul Turner had to back Ibushi off as the delay allowed a missed Rainmaker attempt before Ibushi swung for the fences and hits a crazy-looking lariat. Ibushi signals for the Phoenix Splash, the same move that he missed to cause the shoulder injury that really changed his career, but Okada cuts him off and then hits a high-angle German suplex, but missed another Rainmaker attempt as Ibushi hits a high head kick. We get Ibushi would catch Okada on the top rope, and he hits the most insane looking avalanche tiger driver for an incredibly close near fall that had the crowd going crazy. That probably should have been the finish. That was insane. Ibushi wanted the Kamigoye, but they both started trading near falls before Okada was able to catch Ibushi with the drop kick, hitting Ibushi square in the head. Look at that picture. That picture is awesome. He then picks a yes. He then picks Ibushi up. He nails him with a wild-looking Rainmaker. 1, 2, 3. Okada picks up the win over Ibushi here, and what I thought was a great match. This was Okada giving a fuck at a 7.5 level, and that is the highest you're going to get from him on TV. But we're seeing that he has the opportunity to get to an 8. At least an 8 at All In. He'll probably get to 10. I have faith in my Okada. But Ibushi, this was the best that he's looked since making his return to wrestling. Post-match, Okada was joined in the ring by the rest of the Don Callis family, Lance Archer, Don Callis, and Rocky Romero, who helped Callis and Archer put the boots to Ibushi. Archer was about to deliver a choke slam to Ibushi when the music of Kenny Omega hits as he makes his return for the first time since the summer blockbuster with a chair in hand. Trent Beretta appears to try to hit Omega from behind with a baton, but Ibushi was able to catch him, and they hit the assisted powerbomb into German suplex, and the show closes with the Golden Lovers hugging to a big pop from the fans. Ibushi and Omega stand tall as Okada is held back by the Don Callis family, and any doubt of Omega's health heading into All In have been completely answered on the show.
If you fucking say so, and he looks like a ghoul. What the fuck?
He's waiting to get the pay-per-view tan right before the show. But nah, I love this matchup. This matchup if you had expectations for it to be close to the New Japan matchup, I think you had false expectations, but this was as good as it's going to get from Ibushi. Ibushi knew what he can do. Instead of 2023 Ibushi, who was trying all his high-flying things and wasn't good at it anymore, he stuck to what he could do best. He was doing realistic, stiff strikes with the kicks, and the strike exchange where Okada's like ducking down was great stuff there. That Avalanche Tiger Driver was ridiculous. Okada looked good here as well. This was a really well-done main event, and the post-match with Omega coming back was the right time to bring Omega back so everybody knows, okay, no doubts about his health getting into All In. What did you think?
Really good match. Arguably the match of the night for me. I can't really say that about an Okada match in 2025 or 2024. 2000. All right, anyway. But yeah, it was very fucking good. Ibushi looks like, what the fuck? Fuck up. Ibushi looked he looked good to me, at the very least. Focused, as you said, he didn't do too much. Tiger Driver was a bit much, but not for him. Mostly for Okada taking that bump. And Okada's elbow is still fucking heinous. He's not pulling that out ever again. He must have read a study on hips. To me, elbow drops fucks up your hips, so he's gonna pass on that. It was great. I love the match. This was really well done. And Omega's return at the end was perfect. You know what? Overall, this was some good wrestling for 20 minutes.
We got a couple of comments here in the chat for us to highlight here. You got Big Man Dogs. He says it's so funny seeing people online be like, and people said Ibushi was washed. Yes, he was. He looked like shit the past 2 years.
Thank you. Fuck. How dare you say that? Have you seen him?
And this is a true comment. Big Man does this. Same with Okada. No, we didn't say he was washed. We called him lazy. Yes, that's it. There's a difference. There's a difference between washed and lazy. Okada's not washed. He's just lazy. He knows he picks and chooses his spots.
Yes, after all that work he did, he finally came to the realization that my check looks exactly the same. 6 stars, 3 stars. My check didn't change even a little bit. So what am I doing here? What's the point of all this?
He's like, you gave me the main event, I'll give you 7.5. 7.5 on the give a fuck scale. 7.5. We got Chilling with Jay says Okada in shape. He ready for All In. I hope so.
Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah, he did. We got Chilling with Jay says, I ain't gonna lie. When Archer entered the ring post match, I was like, who is this random fan?
Yeah, he's ready to go. He's ready to do all this. This thing gets dressed in a fucking, ironically, it's a fucking Tony Soprano shirt. He's like, never here for this. Jesus.
Power Driver Finisher says, Patch of the Night, Bucks versus Paragon, MVP, Hangman, LVP Taz, Moment of the Night, Ibushi, Tiger Driver thingy. And Chuck Berry says,
Match of the night, Bucks versus Paragon.
Yeah, just screw Bandito and Takeshita. He couldn't spend on the extra syllables. Chuck Berry says, very entertaining match. I enjoyed it. And Ninja Mortis has a prediction. He says, Swerve and Ospreay lose, feud throughout the next year. Then he will wins the Owen or some tournament and wins the championship in Wembley. They got to do that. They got to do Will winning the championship at Wembley next year. That's the cutoff time for Will winning the world title.
It's the only time to do it. You have to do it in somebody's hometown. You can't do it otherwise. I always said that. Also, shouldn't have won the belt at WrestleMania 14. You gotta wait until you're in Texas and just fucking.
Hey! He did win the title at WrestleMania 17, no?
Oh my god! Let's put him on stilts. Drag Shawn Michaels like his body out there. Lord.
Oh,
what is he?
We've made it to the end of another edition of AEWramble. Want to thank you all for joining us live. Final call for Super Chat donations. And of course, we want to hear from all of you. Give us your match of the night, your MVP, your LVP, whether you gave this show a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, and out of 10, what did you give the show? I did on Rated Raw review. I'm going to do the same thing on AEWramble. Over the last month or so, we've been keeping the question out to all of y'all before we do these shows on our community posts, where we ask you, what did you think of every show that happens the previous night? And for this one, what did you think of last night's AEW Dynamite 300? 58% gave it a 9 through 10. 9 out of 10 through 10 out of 10. 33% gave it a 7 or through 8 out of 10. 6% 5 through 6 out of 10, and 3% 1 through 4 out of 10. So probably one vote for that one. But let's put it for me and Jimmy, put our thumbs in the middle for the July 2nd. Did you write it down already?
No, go ahead.
All right. For the July 2nd, 2025 edition of AEW Dynamite 300 in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board from both of us. Out of 10, I'm going to go with an 8.5 out of 10. This was a great episode of Dynamite here.
You see that? It's in red ink.
Wow! First time ever! We're on the same page. Look at that. Look at that. Look at
that. I got to be honest. I thought the matches were all good, at the very least. A couple of great matches there. The only thing that bothered me was people talking. Shockingly.
Just Moxley. Mostly Moxley and Swerve.
It's Swerve.
What was your match of the night?
This is a tough one for me. I feel like I have to reward Okada for the effort he put in. That's outrageous. Motherfucker does 3/4 of a job. You want to give credit, but
more Ibushi. More Ibushi.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going with the main event. Main event? No, I can't. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. It's a 6-man. Takeshi's just the guy.
Yo, that trios match is one of the best matches on Dynamite. It's not on the level of like Ospreay and Takeshita I think it's on the same level as like Mercedes and Athena as far as like one of the better matches. That tier. Yeah. But Okada and Ibushi does deserve some love. So we got Roxy, who gives it match of the night. We got everybody giving it above an 8 out of 10, pretty much, from everybody that I highlighted here. I Make B says, thanks, everyone. Thumbs up. Roxy says, MVP Hangman. Who is your MVP for the show, Jimmy?
Ooh. Ooh, MVP. You know what? I'm gonna give them MJF. I thought his commentary was good when he wasn't getting interrupted. But fucking old man. And I thought his in-ring stuff was really good too. He's completely in character at all times. It's fucking great.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Hangman. I thought his promo, he lapped Moxley on the promo, and then the little crescendo with him giving the buckshot lariat to Marina. That was really well done. So I'll give it to Hangman. LVP for the show. Unfortunately, it's my boys. Jet Speed. Godspeed, Jet Speed.
Yeah, I mean Taz is always up for it, but I think Jet Speed takes just being the dumbest baby faces of all time. I put him ahead of Wardlow. I put him ahead of Damian Priest. Just jarringly stupid.
Yeah, I'll give an honorable mention to Okada for Okada and Ibushi for the main event work. I had moment of the night. Yeah, you know what? I'll give it to Okada and Ibushi. That Tiger Driver from the top rope. Was it necessary? Not necessarily, but it is my moment of the night.
So let me get this straight. We have match of the night, which only matches can win. And then we have moment of the night, which matches can win too.
No, that was a moment in the match.
In the what?
In the match.
I'm going with I'm gonna go with the Hangman and the buckshot. I do like your call. You know, it's surrounded with a bunch of horse shit from John Moxley.
All right, so you know what? I'll switch it around. Hangman with the buckshot can get moment of the night. MVP, I'm gonna give it to Okada and Ibushi.
Mina's Bakery. I really don't want to be rude. I'm not gonna body shame people. Good lord, you guys are fucking ridiculous.
All right, we made it to the end of another edition of AEWramble. Appreciate y'all for joining us live. We've been getting a lot of support on AEWramble the last couple of weeks, so we want to thank you guys for showing us some love and coming along on this ride as we break down AEW Dynamite. Only one more Dynamite ahead of All in Texas next Saturday from Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. We got 6 matches already announced for the show. I believe a seventh match will be announced for sure on Collision 100. The tag team title matchup hasn't been announced yet, but we could pretty much figure that's going to be in there. Hopefully they keep it at that. 8 matches would be great.
Right. They can't do that for a regular pay-per-view. They can do it for fucking All In.
Okay, 9. They did All In London last year had 9 matches on the main card. So I hope they can keep it at 9.
4 hours. I'm not watching it right there. Feel free. Enjoy.
Come on, you gotta watch it.
What?
Come on.
I want to see Omega and Okada.
You want to see the top 3?
No. I want to see Omega and Okada.
Nah, you don't want to see Tony and Mercedes anymore?
Nope. The only allure that had for me was the 2 biggest women in AEW. And they botched it. They botched it. What do I care? Omega and Okada, you know what? I think that's about it. Is Willow going to have a match? I watched the Willow match.
She going to be in the women's
Casino Gauntlet. And the women's Casino Gauntlet.
You're not gonna watch Hangman and Moxley because you think you know what's gonna. All right, if I tell you that you were wrong, will you watch it then?
No, because you'll still spoil it.
No, I'm just gonna say you should watch it, regardless. I'm gonna say you should watch it. You're awful. You're not gonna watch the biggest show of the year. Come on. Davion says,
I watch WrestleMania. I'm watching All In. No, thank you.
You did watch a lot of WrestleMania though.
Yeah, I watched some of it. I'm watching some of this too.
Some of it is at least half.
Half? Oh, it's like 5 matches.
It's gonna be 9. 4 is technically could qualify as half.
Casino Gauntlet, Omega Okada. I have to watch Mercedes and Tony.
Moxley and Hangman.
Probably a jet suit match because that should be quick.
You are awful. You are awful, sir. You are awful. You still haven't even watched my show of the year, Double or Nothing. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't already, drop the thumbs up on the video. Comment down below if you're watching us on demand and tell us what you thought about Dynamite 300. Jimmy, let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and when they shall see you again.
On Twitter, on Elon Musk's Twitter, so you guys can see if I have a problem with that. At Jimmy Macram, and on YouTube. He's also guilty of breaking certain human rights when it comes to the workforce, but you guys don't seem to care about that either. But it's neither here nor there. I'm sure you guys have your reasons. I'm sure you're not hypocrites at all. Anyway, yeah, there.
Follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSB3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at True Hill Heat. We got a True Hill Heat cut coming out tomorrow where we talked about is Mercedes Mone the most influential women's wrestler of the past decade? That's going to be dropping.
Oh my good Lord.
That's going to be dropping on our channel tomorrow. And we got the True Hill Heat Flagship podcast this Saturday, 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time. So join us for that as well. Myself, True Draw Josh, and Miss Chrissy Love, the OG trio, are back together here. So join us live to talk about this week in wrestling. For Jimmy Macram.
Where did you say that was going to be? I didn't see it. I didn't hear it, rather. This Mercedes thing. Where's that going to be at, you said?
It's going to be on the channel tomorrow.
It's a what? It's a cut?
The cut from our True Hill Heat Flagship podcast.
So you guys had this discussion already?
Yes.
What was the consensus?
She's not the most influential wrestler, but she's the most influential women's wrestler of the decade.
You all should be shot.
What? Shot?
What the fuck is going on?
Sir, shot?
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Not in the head. Shoot yourselves in the foot if you'd like. Good Lord. What the fuck? All right.
Why are you so miserable?
Insane.
For Jimmy Macram.
Thank you, Goat. Unless you back and say something about the Sports Illustrated thing. Thank you, Goat. And then you pull this horse shit when she's not looking. It's insane.
Someone could be the GOAT. Someone could be most influential.
Influential what?
Influential is a part of being the GOAT. It's one category. One category of it.
What does that even mean?
One category of it. Watch the discussion. I actually brought up Becky Lynch and her influence on the industry.
That's outrageous. This is outrageous. Is Kane the most influential fucking wrestler ever? And then somebody goes, no, it's Steve Austin. Well, I brought up Steve Austin. No, it's not Kane. Fucking certainly. No disrespect to Mercedes. She's no closer to Kane,
you just disrespected Mercedes. You compared her to Kane. You compared her to Kane.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
She's top 3, but let's keep it together. I didn't want to say Triple H because I've been shitting on Triple H for the last few weeks. I didn't want to say Triple H. That's okay. But it is what it is.
You shitted on Mercedes, though, by comparing her to Kane.
You shit on fucking Becky Lynch by putting Mercedes in the same
breath
as her.
Shitting on Becky
Lynch? Again! You didn't learn your lesson the first time. It's outrageous. He got shot in the head the first time he did it. Fucking throwing himself on a limb. So you can jump on the same fucking grenade? Are you serious? What's wrong with you?
I didn't say she was a bigger draw than her. Influence.
Yeah, this is more influence. Biggest star on the planet with a vagina, and it's this one's more influential.
She's the biggest star. There's categories here, sir. I don't understand why this is such a big deal to you.
It's not a big deal.
Yes, it is. It hurts your feelings. It's
My
a big deal.
Friends shouldn't be having these level of takes.
It wasn't my take. I was a part of the conversation. I never even said.
Did you agree with it? Did you combat it? Did you fix it? You did not. You have to understand, when you leave your house, when you're on TV, when you're on the internet, you're representing yourself, your family, and your friends, which includes me. to put that take into the world is harmful to me.
I am over this. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Jimmy Macram. This is me. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SB3. This has been AEWramble 205 Death all in Texas. We are signing off until next time. Mercedes influential.
Oh my God.